You're not prepared?
No, I am.
Per usual.
Wrong
I'm
account.
not ready. Hang on.
We wait for no one.
Got a little attaboy from my two dads.
Hell yeah. Congrats.
They don't know that I call them that, but...
Well, they kind of do.
Well, one of them does. Neither one would be surprised in hearing it.
No.
Sorry, I do actually want to just grab something.
Oh my god. I'm sitting here ready to go.
Well, you know what, Shelby? I'm actually doing something that's really good for the podcast.
I don't believe you. In the long run.
Yeah, we'll see about it. But anyway, 3 recordings in 2 days.
Can we do it?
And tomorrow, it'll be 4 recordings in 3 days for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then come Thursday, Wednesday's 4 recordings in 4 days. Wednesday will be 6 recordings in 5 days and 4 recordings in 5 days.
You lost me.
That's math.
I'm going to be honest.
But none of that matters. The only thing that matters is the here and now.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is S. Soup. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SMSoup, the #1 podcast with soup in the name, but not on the brain. I'm Spencer.
I'm Shelby.
And together, Shelby and I are here to take you on a journey through life's biggest questions. Like, waiter. Come here. Come here. Come here. How is this soup made? Shelby.
Was it
How long is your now?
like 2 seconds?
So your now is just
constant.
Constantly
Yeah,
changing.
I'm constantly like, holy shit. It's now.
I can't believe it.
I go
It's
through a small shock every
You're like,
2 seconds.
It's like the James Acaster where he's like, I knew it would be you. And look at you. I even knew it. And you're in the exact order that I thought you would be in.
And we're all here.
It's now.
Except that guy. That guy wasn't here.
I remember when it was all of you.
Except that guy.
So it's
How long's your now?
I would say my now is as of right now.
Right.
I would say my now is probably it's probably like a rotating 2 years.
Wow, 2 years.
And I think
crazy.
then like as you age, it like changes because your like concept of how time flows and everything.
Right.
Differs.
So you're saying cognitively I'm still like a 5-year-old?
No.
If my now is only 2 seconds.
No, that's not what that means at all.
Isn't that how that works?
No, I'm saying
time.
like I consider this like chapter. I consider like a chapter of my life. Yeah. The current chapter I'm in, I see it as lasting like every 2 years. It's like a new thing.
I see.
You enter like a new phase. You know.
What do you think the next phase is?
I don't know, but I think they just like a lot of times.
Phase 5, Captain America comes back.
I think a lot of times it'll mimic whatever the zeitgeist is too, and like how society also changes. But you are impacted by societal changes more or less dependent on your age. So
true.
I feel like mine's like a 2-year give or take.
Yeah.
But it obviously differs. And like I think about how like certain aspects have lasted longer. So you could say that like my now has been since 2019 and will go until I stop streaming, because streaming is like a decent part of my week to week.
I know, it's always very weird. Like in school, in the structured school system, you had like, this is the end. You literally receive a piece of paper that says, good job, goodbye. Mm-hmm. But now it's just one day you realize something's ended. Mm-hmm. It's not so much.
And that's the
official.
That's the other crazy thing.
Like, yeah, I feel like we've been in a phase since 2019. So now when will it be like, oh shit, we're like not in that anymore?
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's weird.
It's also crazy to think about because you read those like stories constantly that are like, oh, a parent never realizes that they're picking their child up for the last time.
Yeah.
But like eventually you hit that moment and you don't realize it's the last time in that moment.
Right.
You know, to be darker, you don't realize that when you say I love you to somebody that you're technically saying it for the last time, which by the way, I love you.
Oh my God. Or you don't realize the last time Grogu bites you for the last time.
Yeah, exactly.
And are you happy or sad about it?
But you know what I mean? Like you already have moments like that. And Another crazy thing that like somebody said recently that I listened to was like
For the last 2 episodes, you've said I love you, and I haven't
said it back.
said it back.
Par for the
I
course.
love you too.
Um, say it like you mean it.
I love you.
What was I gonna say?
Sorry.
Like, somebody brought up. I was listening to like another podcast, and somebody like brought up that you don't like kind of in a similar vein where it's like you don't realize that you like ever stop doing something,
Mhm.
but anytime you start doing something new or start putting more attention into something, you're absolutely sacrificing something else,
Absolutely.
which is crazy to think about.
It is.
Because you don't.
That's why it's so hard to learn new skills as you age.
Yeah.
Because everything becomes a priority, and you just like, I don't know what to give up. I don't have anything to give up.
And you don't realize that you give up something
Yeah.
until you like one day realize like I haven't read a book and I used to read all the time.
I know.
And
I know.
like,
And I just
haven't
gave
read-
you a book.
I know.
How do you?
And I'm
how
not
that,
gonna read
yeah.
it.
I can read it to you.
I don't read.
I can read it to you. I don't think it'd be
Reading-
fun.
Reading out loud is like really bad.
Why?
Like my mouth just gets super dry because I don't like talking that much.
I don't believe you. Like you think even to me that would happen? Like even if you were just reading to me, that would happen?
If I was reading a book to you,
Yeah, you'd say I don't like talking. My body is like I don't like talking this much, so you just like start reacting weird, even to me. That's what you're saying.
if I was
Like
what are
I
you
understand
asking?
the reaction you're saying you'd have based
Yeah.
on anxiety.
No, I'm not saying it's anxiety.
just
I'm
would
saying my
happen.
mouth would dry out because my mouth would get dry from talking too much because I don't like talking that much. Or I haven't trained my mouth and my spittle to be moist enough and to re-moisten.
I see.
There's something not connected there.
Gotcha.
And honestly, it's for the best.
Well, you'll have to give updates whenever you actually start reading. Largely just because I'll be looking for updates.
Okay.
We're like, what do you think? There was somewhere I was gonna build off of that with the skill thing. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. I've had it randomly. I don't know. Oh, I think it's literally because we have Rock Band now.
Mm-hmm.
I've convinced myself, not fully because we don't even have the tools to do this. I've convinced myself that I should either go back to practicing the piano or I should truly go back to trying to learn how to play the guitar, which I had piano lessons for like a handful of years of my life spread out because I'd like lose interest and then like want to do it again and then lose interest and whatever. Guitar, I think I lasted 2 months. And then it was just a bit of like, piano's not really doing it for me right now. I want to try something else. Because that's the attention span I have. And guitar frustrated me so much. Like so much.
Mm-hmm.
And also my teacher was definitely a little bit weird. But I'm like, what if I should just like try it again? Not that I have a guitar or anything.
Yeah.
But I think Rock Band has like brought that out of me. And then I'm sitting here going, how the fuck am I gonna take time to mildly learn how to play the guitar? And for like what purpose? Like
What's it?
I don't enjoy like performing for
Right.
people.
I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because I would almost like it as a party trick until I'm at said party and somebody's like, there's a piano, Spencer, you should go play. And then
Right.
I'm going to be shitting my pants.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an impromptu performance guy.
Right. I'm barely a planned performance person.
But I would love to like be able to like,
it's fun to learn.
it would be fun to like learn and be able to like play and
Yeah.
sing and like do that for each other.
Sure.
And then that'd be the only time I use it.
I
So
know.
then I'm just kind of like,
Why did I do this?
is that right? Like, not
and the
this,
amount of it takes to learn
Right.
to be able
is
to
like,
do
is
that.
this level of effort just
Yeah.
to only sit in my my home and play?
Maybe.
Is that worth it?
As long as it's your enjoyment.
And I feel like no is the
Yeah.
answer.
No, I know, but I like in the past few days have been like,
But also it's like, that's
kinda
like
wanna do
the, what's it called where it's like something confidence. And it's like the whole thing that like every guy thinks they can land a plane, a commercial airplane.
Oh. I don't know.
I forget what it's called. But anyway, that's what Rock Band does to you.
Yeah.
It like gives you this confidence because you're like, I can 100% a song on medium on
I can-
guitar. I could learn how to play guitar. And it's
I
just like,
know.
probably not.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, just thought that was a fun little question.
I like it.
And I have 74 more of them.
Is that what you've been like collecting and saying was for the betterment of the podcast? So we have
I
something to
haven't been
open
collecting
with?
them. I literally Googled something and I was provided a list. And now I'm just going to every now and again pull from that list.
Cool. Sounds good.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
I mean, it's been a day since we recorded, so it was
Yeah.
a great time to pull one of these out.
Yeah, I have nothing to talk about
So, what are we doing today?
today. Today, this is coming out on Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, happy day off, I presume, for most people. Today,
And if you don't have the day off, we do not care. Do not tell us.
well, it's
All right? Don't make us feel bad for you.
today, Spencer and I each are bringing
No, I am sorry.
a plot, an idea, a storyline for what we would propose to be a Hallmark movie. Yes, Spencer.
I just want to get it out of the way right now. We talked about it a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen a Hallmark movie,
Yeah.
but I understand the concept of a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe there is a good chance that the story I read to you has been made
I'm sure.
into a Hallmark movie,
Yeah.
minus a few facts.
I'm sure mine is probably also.
I did not read any synopses
Yeah.
or any summaries of
Same.
movies.
Same.
This was all from my head from what I conceived. So I think that says a lot. If I do nail one, I think that
Yeah.
says a lot about Hallmark movies and
Yeah.
what their general perception is.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able to tell you if you nailed it.
No, I know.
Because I also don't know Hallmark movies. I've seen them, like they'll on in the background. Like I'll go to people's houses.
I'm just
and they're
saying,
on.
dear list, I
Yes.
promise you,
Yes.
right hand to whatever power, I'll put it on the Scout's honor
Yeah.
if I have to. I swear I did not look anything up, but I genuinely have that feeling in me that I am so fucking close.
Yeah, to an actual
to
existing
an actual
plotline.
one
Yeah.
that somebody's gonna be like, oh, you just ripped it
I
from this.
wanted to say, do we want to cover this before or after what we think makes a Hallmark movie?
I feel like we'll both probably nail it within our story.
Okay.
So we
that's
can talk
fine.
about
can
it
talk
after.
Okay.
I feel like it's better to talk about after.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't because I didn't want us to start like giving away anything in case that.
So
like,
how did you
influenced.
set this up? Because I explained to you how I did it. I did it in such a way that like I'm gonna read a few lines and then we'll be able to unpack what it was that I was going for. Or am I just gonna sit here and listen?
Mine is written in a more story format.
Okay.
And I think it'll just be like deep dives where you're gonna go wait. I don't really have pauses. But yeah.
So, but am I allowed to interrupt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I just apologize in advance because I do think I went a little long. And although now looking at that, that's not.
It's pretty long.
It's pretty long. I'm a quick reader, and my mouth won't get dry.
Oh fuck! I didn't even think about that.
Apologize in advance because this happens all the time. I was in it in the beginning, and it's not really detailed, but it has a level.
Blown out. We're so
it has
pale.
a level of detail on it, and then immediately like went, fuck, I actually need to finish this, and I quickly went, and that happened. Warning in advance. I wrote that. We both wrote ours today.
I have a little bit of that as well.
Okay.
But I was like, if I was laying in bed, I would have been on my stomach with my.
You were.
And I would have been kicking my feet.
You were
giggling.
genuinely pacing the apartment and like laughing at you. Like I could tell you were so proud of what you were doing. Hence why I'm going first because I think yours will be better and I don't want to have to follow you.
I don't think it necessarily. I'm a little worried that because you saw my reaction, you put a lot of effort in, and now yours is going to be better than mine. And I'm not happy about it.
Okay.
We'll vote at the end.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like, and we'll be honest, right? Like, I'm not just going to choose mine because mine's mine,
both voting
and we don't need to vote against. But I think we should try and be genuine and like
I know,
see who we think was better. It was mine.
Okay. My main character is Emily, spelled Emillee, which is a genuine way I've been told someone spelled their name, and it has haunted me ever since that day. Emily Smits.
Why Smits?
Because I wanted it to be Shits, but I didn't want to have to say that. I don't say her last name at any other point.
Like,
she's the only character with a last name.
Absolute garbage humor
It
on
is.
your part. Like, this is the type of humor that you'd be like, oh, it's It's so annoying. It's just dumb. It's just dumb comedy. I hate dumb comedy
It is
movies.
dumb. It's dumb because
And then you're sitting here going,
I've had bad names in my head because connecting to our last episode when I was like, I could spend hours looking at catalogs of what streaming services have available. The characters' names sometimes are so fucking atrocious that I was trying to channel that for this. But I wasn't writing a spy novel, so I could only go so ridiculous. So Emily Smith's it is. Okay. Recently moved from small town Nebraska, because I don't know a single fucking town in Nebraska, to Boston. And the timeline this begins is in October. Okay. Okay. Movie begins. I'm already nothing funny is happening. This has been like a whole day of us going back and forth about this. Okay. The movie begins with Emily packing a suitcase, occasionally glancing out a window at endless cornfields. That's all I know about Nebraska. I assume they're there. Flashes of a road trip are happening, passing state signs as they finally see highway location signs saying Boston, approaching soon. Unpacking to a tiny studio apartment, the excitement, whatever, the classic no furniture situation, blanket sitting out on the ground for seating. A friend made the road trip with her. Her name is Amelia. She's tagged along and roughly will hang out in the city for like a few days, helping her settle in. They've been friends for forever and always dreamed of leaving their small town. But as their futures began to shape, it became less of a desire for Amelia, and Emily decided to push forward on her own. But Amelia's like seeing her off. Amelia has like no part in this story. Okay. After 2 to 3 days of accumulating small amounts of kitchenware and seeing the city, Emily waves Amelia and her car off as she begins the long car ride home. Emily knows no one, has to find a job ASAP, and doesn't really know what the hell she's gonna do. Within the first few weeks, she's had quite the handful of uncomfortable interactions, feeling thrown off by angry drivers, angry people, and angry weather. She thought the Midwest snow would prepare her for anything, but when she can't find a smile from a stranger or keeps getting gross slushy mud splashed on her as she waits for a green light, it makes the weather feel like everything in Boston is glum. I don't know why I went in this detail.
Nothing. That's one of those things that like always happens in movies, right? Like
I'm really setting the scene.
I've never actually seen a massive puddle get splashed up onto a sidewalk.
Actually, I've been splashed by a puddle. Not joking. It happens. Road infrastructure is terrible.
I also
Water
like how for
gathers
the
everywhere.
most part, the story thus far is
Yeah.
it's you and I'm Amelia, but then I stay, but then Amelia stays. But everything else is still mirroring you. It's like has to find a job, like move to Boston on a whim, has to find a job. Like it's thrown off by a fucking pandemic.
Okay. One random, also this has no pertaining to the story. I just want you to know I pictured her studio apartment in Fenway.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Okay.
There's only like one Fenway detail.
How close to the ballpark?
Like pretty far, like in some of the fancy schmancies near Time
Far
Out.
from
No, like near,
Oh,
like
you
not
said
far.
Oh, you
I tried to
said-
say not
okay.
far.
I was gonna say, well, but that also I want to be clear.
Yeah.
You saying far is insane. Would have
Not
been
far,
insane.
yeah.
I know. Not far is equally insane
Why?
because nowhere in Fenway is far.
Well, yeah, I know.
So you're saying
She's
like
not like
she's
in
2
the
blocks.
she's not in the fancy
Two-
high rises.
2 to 3 blocks.
But she's like close.
2 to 3 blocks from the
Yeah.
ballpark.
She's in one of the older buildings
From
where
the
you like
ballpark.
you hunt for the street parking before it's all been shut off for the day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you gotta go like back. You don't go like towards Brighton. You gotta go back, whichever way that is. No one else knows any of those details. But anyway, one random Thursday evening, she decides to be in charge of her own positivity by going to the country bar in Boston because she's from Nebraska, feeling a little homesick. She is walking down the bars on Lansdowne Street, the only street that is referred to in the whole book, whatever the fuck.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Hopping amongst them, ending up at Loretta's, or Loretta's Last Call, if you actually care to know the name. Hoping to cure some homesickness and loneliness, she walks into the building blasting country music, serving steaming, hot fried food, and a crowd of individuals line dancing in a large open floor. After some wings and a cocktail to dull her social anxiety, she hops on the dance floor and joins in. The skill level is clearly all over the place, as most of the crowd follows a handful of friends who seem to actually know the dances. She's impressed by their skill and a bit jealous of their camaraderie. So slowly working her way, like line dancing, you literally stand in lines and like do the dance. She's slowly working her way towards the front, towards the people who seem to know what they're doing, and everyone else is just following them. Amidst trying to move her way up, she trips over someone's leg, comes crashing on the floor, and can feel something is horribly wrong immediately.
Jesus Christ.
I need you to know everything I just read, I can't scroll any further. That was over half of my writing, was everything I just read. So anyway.
Okay. Oh, also real quick, just give me a read, like attractiveness level.
I don't know.
Like, what do you see Emily as?
She's probably pretty average.
Okay.
She's
like a movie star average.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who to equate that to because that feels mean. I don't know. It's just she's literally like country to try to move to the city.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's like into anything like probably visually extravagant. She's probably just like put together, like mild mannered. I know none of those are just exciting descriptions, but that's what like I picture. But she like wants to experience a more fast paced life and
gotcha.
Like, wants to give it a shot. That doesn't, if that helps in any way whatsoever. Anyway, being that she was inches behind the skilled line dancers, a guy in the group who was closest to her whips around and bends down to help. When they realize she can't stand up, he specifically offers to help get her to the hospital. He takes her there himself because no one can afford an ambulance ride, let alone in Boston.
Did he carry her the entire way?
No, he put her in a car and like helped her get there. Doesn't leave her side until he effectively like isn't allowed, like he waits to make sure she's like in her room, is like settled, whatnot. They get to chatting in moments of waiting, and when Emily feels up to talking. His name is Dan, creative name. He was born in South Carolina, country boy at heart who enjoys like bopping around like cities in different areas. And he's been in Boston for the past 4 years and goes to Loretta's when he wants to feel a piece of home. They find out Emily has shattered her hip and cannot walk. She'll have limited movement for the next 3 months. Naturally, her 4th floor, no elevator apartment, shout out to Boston, will be a living nightmare. And when Dan puts together that clearly Emily knows very few people here, he leaves his phone number with her, still at the hospital, in case she needs anything. Because she doesn't want to reach out to him, she Ubers back to her apartment, which I just was picturing someone like in like, I'm going to picture that she has the cast that goes like over her belly and like over her hips. And I think only like one leg is encased. So she can still like hobble, but like you can't like bend your leg, right? So it's like funky. Okay. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I Googled leg casts for 2 seconds and that felt logical to me.
Sure.
So she like shoved her way into an Uber's home because she doesn't want to reach out to Dan or whatever. Doesn't want to be needy. And it takes her like a really long time to get to her apartment because she's on the 4th floor. There's no elevator.
Can't bend her one leg.
Takes a really long time to get up there. It's exhausting because of course she just feels like shit. And upon getting up there, she basically realizes like my options are do this crazy long walk every time I need to, or I'm like, this is all I'm doing now. Like she basically pandemic style is like, I'm stuck in this apartment. After a few days of struggling to get around cooking, keeping herself entertained, she caves and places her first ever order on GoPuff.
Only to find out that they drop it down at the entrance door.
She has to convince the delivery person to walk her items all the way up to her door, but it begins a pattern of how she sees herself getting through the following months. She signs up for every delivery service because the girl's not dumb. She goes for the deals. She jumps sites, does whatever she needs to do, and slowly accumulates the furniture of her apartment. She like task rabbits people to build it for her. You know, like that's her form of socialization, of keeping up with the world. Come late November, so I guess she's been locked in her apartment for like a month or something. She realizes she really wants a small Christmas tree. So she hops on the apps, and the first one that will deliver a mini tree from a local grocery store, she orders. She inputs her usual description of how to deliver, and within an hour, here's a knock at the door.
It's Dan.
It's Dan!
Nice. Pretty solid.
I put in all caps, it's Dan!
That's pretty solid.
I didn't want it to be the first delivery driver,
Sure.
right? Yeah. So he looks in a shock seeing it's her and has a small tree in hand. Turns out he's a delivery driver on the side. What does he do on the other part? I don't fucking know. You fill in for yourself what he does. And just so happened to get her order. They catch up, and Dan is clearly somewhat hurt she never reached out, especially after putting together she's been doing all this by herself, and like he was more than happy to like help her and like become a friend and whatever. So he starts to make a point of stopping by, bringing food, bringing games. You know, they get to know each other, befriending each other. Fast forward to the week before Christmas. Amelia, the friend who road tripped in the beginning, drives to Boston to spend the holidays with Emily because she knew she wouldn't be able to travel and didn't want her spending the holidays alone. So whilst being there, Dan happens to pop in, and Amelia immediately sees something's going on between the two of them, but she's like, what the hell? I never heard anything about this guy. What's going on? Demands that she's being filled in. A few days go by, and Amelia keeps bugging Emily to contact Dan, says, like, tell him how she feels, etc. But Emily doesn't want to ruin the one friend she's managed to make. The night before Amelia is set to leave for back to Nebraska, she convinces Emily she will get her butt outside and enjoy an evening of like the holidays in the city. A knock on the door surprises Emily when she discovers Dan is also in on this plan. Oh my God, the friend coordinated it.
Of course.
So fun. So, standing out, this is where I knew
This is where you lost it?
This is where I went, I need to finish this. Guys, we have like 5 sentences left, and you...
This has gone on for a good bit, though.
Standing outside is an electric scooter that Dan insists he will drive, while Emily will effectively one leg stand on, whilst the other one just like juts out and hold on to it.
Why wouldn't they just get her like a mobility scooter of some sort that would work for her injury?
I don't know, because
Like,
I
what do you
thought
do
this
with
would
that?
be funny.
What is the actual thing you do with a hip? Isn't it?
You just like can't bend. So like sitting would be really hard depending on how high the cast
I think you would walk like
comes.
this, right? Like,
Yeah, you'd like hobble because you can't bend your leg. So you would hung out. Yeah, it would swing out. Yeah, right. So you like, as long as the cast is like a walkable cast, or you might be on crutches or something, like some form of that. Like you can still walk. And according to my 2-second Google search, it said you should be able to regain general mobility within like 6 weeks.
Okay.
So that's why like it's split up like a month at a time,
Makes sense,
relatively. But yeah, so she can still like walk. It's just she's like gonna like have like her legs gonna like kick out instead of like bending forward. So she's precariously on the scooter holding on to Dan, and I'm just assuming Amelia doesn't come with. Like it's just Dan and Emily having a nice night. So basically they drive around the city, they see the lights, they get some hot chocolate. Like it's a beautiful little evening of just like hanging. Yeah, they got their tea, hanging out in Boston. I didn't feel like getting any more specific than that. Now this is where
I don't need to.
Now it is where it gets wild on their drive home. So it's clearly a romantic night. Nothing's been said, but it's safe to assume they're like, wow, we must both be feeling something.
There's some tension.
This is great. This is a great night. As they're driving home, they slide on some ice and they go flying. I didn't feel like saying where to because I didn't want it to get too dark. But let's just say they really just go flying. And both of them, like, clearly it's like a dazed situation. A stranger hops in, helps call 911. Fortunately, they have to pay for the ambulance ride that time. And then basically, Emily wakes up in the hospital where Dan is in a bed next to her, also a shattered hip. And then they both laugh and hold hands. The end.
I just want to call out real quick. Shelby asked me at one point, what's something that would cause you to like lose mobility and require you to be like bedridden for some time?
Yeah.
And my immediate response was polio.
And I was was like, no, you have to get it from something. And you were like, polio.
So are you proud of that?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. Did it like make me laugh? Sure. Do I think it's good? No, I think it's literal dog shit. Especially the end.
There was too much up front.
Yeah, I know. I said that was gonna happen.
I feel like mine's gonna end up being somewhat in the same vein. And it's one of those things that you don't realize until afterwards because you
get excited.
It's literally like the SpongeBob meme where he like writes but it's like super fancy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there was way too. I know. Listen, I wasn't about to go in and edit that shit. I wrote it. I already
the car
know.
accident was a nice touch, or like the accident at the end was like a nice touch.
Yeah. Because I didn't want them to never have to say it. I wanted them to just like wake up and be like, we both know. And they both have shattered hips. And then like
the irony of shattered
what
hips.
happens after? Do they both like bedrid in the same apartment? Who knows? What'd you think? What'd you think? Do you think it would be a Hallmark movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely fits. For me, I'm like, yes. And it's like one of those things where it's like it's just garbage enough that it makes sense for Hallmark. And you like called out the one thing, like not so much like I did it as well at one point, but it's like you specifically called out like for Dan, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, it turns out on the side, he's a delivery driver.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you go, what does he actually do?
Who the fuck
And
knows?
then they just never touch on it.
I also say in the beginning, like Emily doesn't have a job, and then she proceeds to not have a job and be bedridden for 3 months. Right. So like, how is she living in Fenway for that long? Like, who the hell knows?
Stuff.
I know. I love that because you never really actually know details about the character.
Right. It happens all the time.
You literally learn like their favorite color or something stupid. Or you learn like one traumatic past event that somehow is made up for in the end. Movies, baby. All right, I'm ready for yours. I'm very excited.
Okay. So start humming I'm Walking on Sunshine. Like, can you hum it?
Like the tune?
I
don't know Walking on Sunshine.
Can you hum it? MC's looking to get out of this. No, I'm just joking. Like I'm making a trailer for it quick. Okay. But in all seriousness, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the Bruce Springsteen edition.
Okay.
That's how this opens.
Okay.
It's playing in like the opening credits. That music is playing over a businesswoman rushing around, completing paperwork, gathering up belongings. She's racing home and begins packing a very large suitcase. A lot of camera panning around the apartment and stuff like that, right? To kind of fill you in on like, who is this person? Give us some of the backstory. And it stops at one point. Like it's like doing one of those like sweeping shots. And then like maybe you have like a bunch of different like images. And then it like stops on a semi-recent photo of our MC is our main character's name. Because I didn't give her a name. With presumed family. So it's her with a woman that she looks vaguely similar to and a man that she looks vaguely similar to who are both vaguely 20 to 30 years older than her.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else is in the picture.
Okay.
It's just the three of them.
Yeah.
Fairly recent though.
Yeah.
Hard cut from that bar. She's complaining about needing to go home for Christmas, but she's complaining in a way such as like, I'm just looking to bring this up.
Okay.
You know, like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go home for Christmas.
Okay.
And now we're talking about it and she's like thriving because of it.
Okay.
Okay. Gal pal or friend, as we'll refer to them as a lot, teases about a small hometown crush that MC had and about maybe this is the year for that potential fling to happen, you know? Okay. Main character flies home, but it's like a super small town.
Yeah.
Like super small. So
the
timeline does not make sense at all for when she lands and then is able to get to the town. Okay. She rents a car.
Yeah.
Gets a flat on Main Street.
On Main Street. Oh my God.
But it's a small town.
Right.
Picture our small town.
Right.
So flat on Main Street.
Right.
Who's there? Just happens to be walking by.
Oh my God.
Dreamy McDreamboat. That is
I love Dreamy
the man's
McDreamboat.
name to help fix the flat.
Okay.
They're like rehashing.
Sure.
You know? Like, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. I can't believe it's you.
Right.
MC. Dreamy. So they agree to get a drink tomorrow night on Christmas Eve.
Bold.
Okay.
Clearly that proves neither of them had plans.
Right.
Christmas plans.
So MC goes home,
Yeah.
excitedly tells the fam.
Yeah.
Mom, over the moon. Very much in like the way of like, oh my God, I thought she was never going to find love.
I like how this still sounds like she's like in high school and she's like, oh my God, I ran into so-and-so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But like, because it's small town vibes.
Right.
Mom and dad are eating that shit up. Well, mom's eating it up.
Yeah.
Father is a trad dad. So he's giving some nonsense about how he'll shoot the guy if he doesn't give his little girl a Christmas kiss.
If he doesn't give her a Christmas kiss?
Yeah, because he's like,
that's the opposite of every dad.
Yeah, I know, but he's like, he better give. But he's like being a very like trad dad about it, but in somewhat the opposite way, where it's like, but he better treat my little girl right.
He better treat her right, and by treat her right, make her like
give her a little kiss.
Yeah.
Like, this night better. Like he's giving her some nonsense. So she's blushing, of course, right?
Right.
Can't believe her family is the way that it is. Eye roll.
Oh my God, they're so embarrassing.
So cute, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward to another bar. Dreamy and MC, fantastic time. She gets that good night kiss, and oh my God, it's Merry Christmas.
Is it under mistletoe?
No. Okay. They had so much fun that it's now past midnight. It's like one of those things where it's like, I can't believe the night got away from us. He gives her a kiss, and then as he's walking away, it's like, oh, by the way, Merry Christmas.
Right.
And it's like, looks at watch. It's 12:08.
Oh my God.
Right. So, okay, now it's Christmas morning, and our fam is all wearing matching flannel pajamas.
Of course they are.
MC opens a Hess truck. Score. She's a collector. She's a collector. I'm sorry. God damn it.
Score.
Damn it. Okay, I'm going to take that again.
Score.
Ooh. MC opens a Hess truck. Score. She's a collector. It's the only thing that brings her joy. Reread a compilation of shots of Hess trucks during the packet montage.
You really went for country with Hess truck collector. That's so funny.
Did you hear? This is where I rewrite the compilation at the beginning.
Yeah.
So now think back to when it's doing the sweeping
we
shot
saw
of
the Hess
pictures.
trucks.
It's actually all Hess trucks and then the picture of family. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. It's Dreamy.
Dreamy?
He couldn't stop thinking of MC in the night, and he wanted to see her again.
Wait, he ditched whatever Christmas plans he did.
She can't believe he doesn't have better plans. What's this? His entire family is dead.
No.
So he's now a Christmas orphan. My heart! Ah!
How old is he? I don't think you become a Christmas orphan.
But no, he has nothing. He has nothing else on Christmas. He's effectively all alone for Christmas.
Okay.
Every year.
Yeah.
Family, of course, invites him to stay for Christmas dinner.
Of course.
Through conversation about how much MC hates her job, mom and dad are kind of exchanging those oh brother, here she goes again.
Okay.
She moved away to a big city and now she's unhappy. Oh, I wonder how you can fix that. Dreamy says she should just move back, get away from the city, go back to those small town vibes. Kind of an inverse of what you wrote, right? Perhaps could he also mean that she should come back for him specifically?
Could he?
She's shocked. She makes 300,000. It's just all these annoying punch-ins that you should know way beforehand. And it's just oh yeah, she's shocked. Oh, I mean, because she makes 300,000.
I don't think there's a reason to normally know she makes $300,000 a year.
Parents are also shocked. Very forward of him to say. Also, could she potentially consider? She rushes out of the room because she's I need air. I need to I can't. This is too much to take in. She has an intense orgasm later that night thinking of Dream.
I thought it was me thinking of her $300,000.
No. Oh my God. That was the super out of pocket thing, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I can't picture a Hallmark movie presenting any form.
So I feel like it would be done in the way where she's thinking of him, and it's she's thinking about some of the other looks that they exchange, and it's kind of doing a montage of that. And then suddenly it hard cuts to the kettle steaming.
Oh, okay.
And then dad or mom's pulling it off for their nighttime coffee/tea. And it's the alluding to the fact that she was getting somewhere, but because it's a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
But I had the shot all figured out in my head.
All right.
And then I said Merry Christmas part 2 because of the intense orgasm. Whew. I just want to read that again. She has an intense orgasm later that night thinking of dreaming. There we go. I got through it, okay? The next day, she's preparing to get ready to head back to New York City. Oh, yeah, she works in New York City.
Oh, yeah. We knew. We figured.
Dreamy comes by. He hopes he didn't upset her, and she's naturally standing there super embarrassed because of last night.
Right, of
when
course.
She had the intense orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
So she invites him to come to New Year's in New York City because, like, of course.
Sure,
right?
fun.
It's known.
Yeah.
And, of course, he can just, like, crash with her.
Yeah.
He agrees and miraculously is able to get on the same flight and have the seat right next to her.
What the fuck?
MC introduces him, Dreamy, to Friend. Friend kind of gives that look of, like, did you fuck him? Like with her, like she's saying, like with her eyes, like, did you fuck him?
Yeah.
And MC returns, again, just with her eyes, not yet. And the friend, again, with her eyes, says, get on it or I will. And if we haven't talked about it yet, he is extremely attractive.
Well, he's
right?
called Dreamy McDreamboat.
Right. Like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And Friend is also a 10 out of 10. MC's like an 8.
Whoa.
So
you really put her in that psychological position?
This is a legitimate threat.
Wow. That's so not cool of you.
New Year's is magical. And I'm starting to run out of steam. So.
Yep, I feel that. When do they get on a scooter and
they
break
decide
hips?
they decide he should stay another week.
Week?
Yeah. And he accepts. So one day, returning from work.
Please tell me she comes home to him like in a kitchen apron, no clothes on.
MC notices her friend leaving the building that she lives in and assumes the worst. So now the relationship is kind of experiencing some turmoil.
Yeah.
And she can't get herself to ask him. So
Yeah.
she asks Friend, and Friend returns that Friend, were unable to convince Dreamy to hook up.
But they tried.
Yeah.
That's a shitty friend.
She's a 10.
So that's a shitty friend.
That's what you experience when you are friends with a 10. And that he truly does care about MC. So this is the perfect excuse for MC to leave it all behind and go back to the small town. They get married that following year.
Okay.
On December 23rd, the day of the flat tire incident.
Yep.
We never find out what he does for a living or how they will sustain their lives moving forward.
Yep.
The end.
Does she remain in contact with Friend?
Yeah. They're still like really good friends. It's just like, it's like very much like her character. Like Friend's character is very much like she's just she's probably a sex addict, like borderline.
Wow. Okay.
So like she like will fuck anything that moves, and they just kind of have this understanding. It's never gotten in the way of any other past relationships.
No, just her soon-to-be husband.
But there was an attempt.
Sure.
So, but yeah, she was like maid of honor, all that.
Did she make an attempt at the wedding?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No. She fucks MC's dad. I'm kidding.
Yeah, 100% yours would be a Hallmark movie.
Right?
I would think so. 100%.
Like flat tire, run
also,
into each
just
other.
like what's so funny about it is like the pacing is such a Hallmark movie.
Right.
Because so many of these movies, to my very brief understanding, take place in like a matter of days. Like maybe you get a few weeks where it's literally like, oh, I came home
like
for this
literally?
single event.
Yep.
And then the next like 6 days, I've decided you're the one. Like
it takes place over roughly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I picture that it's like it's literally 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it only fast forwards to show you the wedding.
Right.
That
finalized, like, yes, this all like came through. And now the day like holds meaning or whatever.
And I'm telling you, I legitimately feel like I said to you, I was like, I think there would be tears. I think people would cry to that.
Yeah, probably.
I think
because you'd really drum up the
God.
whole like you'd really drum up the whole.
Oh my God,
like,
she actually left it all behind. Oh my God, it actually worked out. Oh my God, they're getting married.
See,
oh my God, she's happy. She left that big corporate job.
That's true, yeah. I think I'm just really stuck on the friend trying to sleep with him
Well, I
because
just
I
didn't know
don't
how
see
to,
that playing
I
out
didn't
well
know
in a
how
horror
else to like
movie.
write it in
Some
the
sort
relationship
of, yeah.
needed to have some sort of
Yes.
turmoil.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, friend,
Yeah. No, I get it.
absolute 10,
Yeah.
bombshell.
Yeah. Bomb.
I said bomb too many times. Like great tits, great ass.
Yeah.
MC's fine. She
Right.
passes, you know. She gets good marks. But friend is
As a whole, from start to finish, I think your story is better.
I agree.
But I can't. I love my shattered hip. I don't know how else to say it. I think it's really funny.
Yeah,
I love that they both get shattered hips in the end.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I like that they.
I
Well,
don't think it's good.
It's not good. No, it's shit.
Okay,
I'm saying I'm attached to it.
Yours is good. I'm just saying, like,
no, yours is better.
I
As
think
a
from a
full-on
complete,
story.
from a
yours
complete
is completed.
standpoint.
Like,
Also, my favorite part, and I hate that I couldn't get through either one of them without laughing. No, 3 of them without laughing.
Truck?
It was the Hess truck, it was the $300,000 salary, and it was the intense orgasm. That if I could have gone through all 3 of those without laughing, perfect. I did it. But I knew it. Because those were the 3 things that I sat and giggled about when I was writing it. The Hess truck especially. The Hess truck was the one that was the funniest because that was the first one where I retroactively rewrote something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, that could be in the beginning thing. And I was like, well, I'm not going all the way back up there to give you that, like, this will come up later.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give that satisfaction in, like, telling it.
Yeah.
Watching it, maybe you would get it. But if I specifically say those words, you're going to be like, Hess truck's going to come back up later.
Yeah.
Is Hess even still in business?
No, that's why it's collectible. That's why it's a huge collector's thing.
No, but Hess used to be a gas station.
Yeah, I know, and it's no longer.
No, but it was a thing when we were growing up. I'm almost positive.
It definitely went out of business. Or got bought out.
Because it was a collectible thing before it went out of business. I could have sworn.
You're probably right, yes. And then
the Hess truck's back and it's better than ever.
Oh, no, you can get a 2023 Hess holiday truck right now. It definitely is a big collector's thing. I don't know what part of it is.
Do you ever have any Hess trucks?
No, but my grandparents collected them. And I think we were given a set from one of my grandparents. Like, they've been in houses I've been in. So I know they're very collectible. But I don't have any, personally.
I think we have some.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's like a thing. That's why I was like, wow, you really went for the country.
But then I was like... But when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I wanted to like open it and play with it, and I was told no.
Yeah,
like they had like that level of like collectors.
Oh yeah,
to it.
They're like still in the box.
Like, can you get 2? Like, can I play with one of them? And I remember the one year it had a really cool thing where you could like deploy a motorcycle out the back of the one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was sick. It was like a semi.
Sick.
And you could like, maybe I'm making it up. Who knows?
I don't know. Apparently, you can get a bunch of like toys from them still. I don't quite know. I don't know enough about them about why they're so collectible.
Anyway, I just thought it was really funny.
It is very funny. That really
like,
caught me off guard. When you went Hess truck score. I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, she collects Hess trucks. Put that in the beginning compilation. Wow. Santa Claus is coming. Oh yeah. You know?
So from both of our stories, the basis of a Hallmark movie, the main character has to travel somewhere because it has to put them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, they either, and I think we nailed it. Like they're either going back to that small town because they've been living in a big city. Like it's never like I just live in a new small town.
No,
it's always the biggest.
Well, because it has to be a transition. It has to be like something they aren't used to.
Yeah.
So it has to
and
be
then while
like
they're in
I've become a city person and coming back, I'm the like they're all like, oh, you must be too good for us now, like poking fun. And it's like, no, I'm still a small town person.
Yep.
Or it's a small town person who's sick of it and going to experience the city for the first time. And so a person moving to like a reverse of where they are and being put in uncomfortable situations, to which the person they meet is always from an unfortunate situation. Flat tire, shattered hip bone, other things that happen in life. It's almost always like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
It's almost always a flat tire.
It's almost always a flat tire.
It's like always that.
Yeah, it is. Car trouble, 100%. Yeah, it's like always a really unfortunate situation that leads to them bumping into this
It's
person, whether they've known them or meeting them for the first time.
it's literally the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not to like get so crass with it, but like the whole reason why like step sibling porn is like the biggest thing. Like it's like the dumbest reason. And it's literally like, well, what other reason would two people just be in a room together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's literally like that is how our fucking monkey brains work
Yeah.
as a society. That is like why it is like the biggest thing. Also, I think it's one of those things where it's like it was just a big thing and then it like compounded from then on and then
Yeah.
now it's just like 95% of it.
Right.
But Hallmark movies follow a similar trajectory
Yes.
where it's like it's all Occam's razor. It's like why would you need help?
Yeah.
Car.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's always stuff like that. Car, or you fell, you slipped on ice, something like that.
Yep.
So like yours isn't like that far out of that realm, right?
Yeah.
You get caught, or you fall and the person's there to help you up, or
Yep.
they're there to help you fix the flat or help
Yeah.
you fix your engine, or
Yeah.
it's always,
Yep.
always, always, always. It's always something like that. And then it's like again, what is like the most natural progression that can happen? That's
And
what
they're
it just
always
follows
like,
to a
oh, let's
T.
go out for coffee. Let's go out for a drink.
It's always a drink.
Oh, it's a
yep.
great long night. You lose track of time. It's such a fun thing. And then it's like, oh, we should catch up. And they either do, like they maintain that, and then there has to be some 30-second fallout to then go back. Or it's kind of like, I'm not actually going to go back to them. I don't feel too needy or this or that, or this is what's wrong with them. And then
I'm
there's
just going
like,
to push through my current situation.
Yeah.
Or the inverse is like I'm going to like push so hard into this, and
Yeah.
then no matter what, you have turmoil because of that.
yeah,
So like either you resist and then you get like homesick, or you like are like I'm so dedicated that like it starts to ruin it for you because you're like going too hard at it.
Mhm.
You reassess.
Mhm.
Happy ending.
100%. And that's a Hallmark movie. We've cracked the code, I'd say. I'd say that was a good job on both of our parts. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
It's good. Me too.
I hope.
I hope that was mildly entertaining to listen to.
Yeah, I hope it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Did you like mine?
I did. I did like yours.
Do you think mine was the best?
I did. I said that.
Okay.
I knew yours was gonna be better. I knew mine was like a very not put together concept. But
No, I thought both of them were actually very good.
yeah.
Like especially for writing these.
I literally
Day
finished
of?
mine an hour before.
I'm
This
I'm
episode.
really happy. I was worried that you were gonna be like
No.
so crazy. And yeah, yours ended up being a massive stinker.
It did.
Mine
Yeah, it
was
sucked.
yours was a box office flop, and mine knew its audience and didn't try to go with a theater release.
All right. Well,
What's the budget for yours?
oh, like $20.
Oh,
Like it's been shot on like someone's iPhone.
2.1 million for mine.
Whoa, that's so
all of it was
much.
put into the Hess trucks.
They had to invest a lot into a collector's level collection of Hess trucks for that first shot. I totally get it. And they had to at some point show the $300,000 in cash, so they like put that on a table somewhere.
Yeah, they put it in her bathtub, and then like when she thought about the fact that she makes $300,000 a
Yeah.
year, it hard cut back to her taking a bath in
The money,
in the money.
because she took out her whole year's salary.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Thank you all for listening and or watching. Our socials for each of us are always in the show description that you can check out. Also follow SMSoup Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and that's where you can find our YouTube as well, in case you do opt to choose YouTube over a streaming platform. And hope everyone's having a great end of year, or at least is ready for the new one to begin.
Uh-huh.
Why are you glaring at me?
I'm not. I'm just thinking.
What are you thinking about?
What do you think from this is going to be a good clip for social?
I don't know.
Nice. And when do you think it'll come
Just
out? January 30th?
It'll come out in like next October or something. No, the clip's gonna be Hess truck score.
That's good. What are you hoping to get this Christmas? A Hess truck score!
But yeah, we'll see y'all next week for New Year's Day. We'll do some probably just year in review, year to look forward to, shit like that. And yeah. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.